Free Palestine, bitch. Yo, check it out. The remix, Maya. I see you. Shout out to Maya. Yo. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, yeah. Dum 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 dum. Yeah. After midnight and the news still on, showing broken homes where the lights are gone. I can tell by the tone something really wrong. Why it keep repeating like it's just a song? Now what is it that we seeing? Tell me what is really real. Is it truth or just a headline spin that they want us all to feel? Cause the children got no shield, and the fear is way too real, and the world just look away while the pain don't ever heal. What you gonna do when you can't say no? When the images show and it's all in your soul, yeah. How you gonna act? How you gonna handle that? What you gonna do when you know that it's fast? Do when you can't look away, when the cries echo loud every night, every day. How you gonna act? How you gonna handle that? What you gonna do when the truth hit back? There's no way to ignore what the screens replay. Every clip show the cost that the people pay. I can hear every voice that they try to mute, but the silence still louder than the truth. Now what is it that they hide? Tell me why they shift the frame. Why the story always change, but the suffering stay the same. Cause the ones with no control still the ones that take the blame, and the cycle just repeat while they playing power games. What you gonna do when you can't say no? When the feelings start to grow, yeah, you already know. How you gonna act? How you gonna handle that? What you gonna do when you can't turn back? What you gonna do when you see it clear? When the truth hit hard and it bring that fear? How you gonna act? How you gonna handle that? What you gonna do when the world don't care? Tell me why we watching all this unfold. Tell me why the silence louder than gold. They don't know them, but they still feel close. Every life lost is a story untold. What you gonna do when you can't say no? When the truth breaks through and it overflows? How you gonna act? How you gonna handle that? What you gonna do when you feel that crack? What you gonna do when you stand alone with the weight of the world in a single tone? How you gonna act? How you gonna handle that? What you gonna do when it hit back? Free Palestine, bitch.